unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekakudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect of Israel. So the Spirit, I just kind of picked a random chapter to read. And I'll read 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass which I have told thee before. Ah, shoot, this thing is frozen. That's, let me see. All right, it's not letting me scroll. I'm going to have to, oh wait, here we go. All right. So we good. It says, measure the times diligently. So if we're the prophets, then we should be able to measure the times diligently. And when we see prophecies coming to pass according to these scriptures, we should know what time we're in, right? Let's read it. Verse 2, Then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, so we're seeing the prophecies starting to speak, like it tells you in Habakkuk. It tells you how the prophecies are going to speak. Let's get that real quick. Habakkuk 2. It says, Habakkuk 2, verse 3, For the vision is yet for a appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right, so this vision is talking about the vision of the end, okay? That's what he told Habakkuk. He said, wait for it, right? Because at the end of days, the latter days, it's going to speak and not lie. That's why you have things like, the pandemic that just popped off with the Novid virus. And then you have, lockdowns in America, which America really, that's something new to America being locked down. And then also things like Neuralink, which is fulfillment of prophecy, Revelation chapter 13, right? Verse 16, which is dealing with that mark of the beast. Things like that. And you have the nuclear missiles, which are prophesied of as the waster, which are going to waste the Americas. And that's how they're going to burn the whole America with fire. Because these prophecies, this is the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, beginning to visit the world that he made. All right? Verse 3, Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, right? You turn on the news right now, you'll see all kind of different prophecies of this being fulfilled. The uproars of the people dealing with, the different countries are uproaring against their, anarchy. There's riots, protests, dealing with uproars of the people all over the world. You turn on the news, you can see this stuff. Verse 4, Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right? The Most High, he declares things that'll happen. He declares them from the beginning unto the end. I believe that's in Jeremiah. Let's grab that real quick. Let's see. Let's see, and the internet's running slow. Okay, it's Isaiah. So let's read, we can read it out of the NIV. It says, Remember the former things, those of long ago, that I am the Most High, and there is no other. I am the Most High, and there is none like me. I make known the end from the beginning, from the ancient times, what is still to come. So that's what we read in. It says, "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." But no, verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And that's what we just read in Isaiah. All right, and I said it was Jeremiah, but it was Isaiah. He declares the end from the beginning of the times. He declared these things would happen. You know, the micro sea hip, the missiles. All right, pestilence. And why is that? It's because he's the one who created this world. He's the one who's in control. Verse 6. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. See, so the ones who are going to escape are the ones who are able to believe this truth that we're teaching, the prophecies. Why didn't the modern Christian church ever warn us, or still is not warning us, about the mark of the beast, which is the RFID hip? Why didn't the Christian church, whenever I went to church, I never once heard them talk about the nuclear missiles? All right. When I went to the Catholic Church, I never once was taught that I was an Israelite. You see. Verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So the elect, if you're of the elect, you've been sanctified from the beginning, all right? Meaning you've been ordained from the beginning. That's how Yahweh Hashem Yahushai get down. They declare the end from the beginning. They declare the righteous souls from the beginning, all right? Verse 9, and then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. All right, so you discount this truth. You ignore the Lord's prophets. You ignore his mouth, which are his prophets. Well, guess what? You're going to be dwelling in torment because you're abusing his ways. You don't believe his truth. That's okay. He doesn't need you for these prophecies to be fulfilled. He don't need you to believe in them. But when they happen, you're going to know a prophet was among you. All right. Verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. Right. So you do all these other things dealing with your life, but when it comes to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you don't know them. And they that have loathed my law, while they had, and loathe means despite it, you despise it, while they had liberty, and when they yet place of repentance was open to them, understood not, but despised it. See, that's what I just said. So you despise the truth, so therefore, you have the freedom to repent, but you're too busy despising the truth. You come across the prophets, and you want to argue with the Lord's true prophets because you've been taught all kind of lies in Babylon, America. You've been taught all kind of lies by the Christian pagan church, and you want to despise the truth, all right? The same must know it after death by pain. So guess what? You're going to know the truth, but guess what? You're going to have to be killed with death by pain before you can understand. Because once the kingdom is established, everyone is going to know the truth, even the heathen. Now, are the heathen going to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments 100%? No, because they're heathen. But the Israelites will know, but at least 2/3 of our people won't know this truth until death by pain, all right? And therefore be not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. So the world's created for the elect, all right? The ones who are going to have dominion in the kingdom are going to be the elect. Starting out with his prophets will be his governing body. Just like Esau Edom has his governing body, he has his presidents, his vice presidents, his senators, his politicians. They govern this wicked society. Well, the Yahweh Bashem Yoshai has 144,000 men who are going to be the governing body of the kingdom. Verse 14. Then answered I and said, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it. also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than them which shall be saved. All right. So that's what it is. There's going to be a lot more people that die than are going to be saved, because the majority of the world don't believe this truth. All right. And you're going to have a great humbling of people, mainly Israelites, who are going to come into this truth during Jacob's trouble when they become desperate. All right. But that's another lesson, Jacob's trouble. Verse 16, like as a wave is greater than a drop, he answered me, saying, like as the field is, so is also the seed as the flowers be. Such are colors also, such as the workman is, such also is the work, and as the husbandman is himself, so is his husbandry also, for it is the time of the world. And now when I prepare the world which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man speak against me. All right, so it don't matter if you don't believe, or if you're part of the Christian church and you tell everybody that, oh, everything's going to be okay, or there's no going to be no World War III, or you don't believe that the missiles are going to be shot off. People, you talk to these Edomites and they act like their kingdom's going to dwell forever, because that's what it tells you in Psalm 49:11. And you bring up the missiles to these Edomites, and they're like, oh, they're not. No one's going to use the missiles because they know that's the end all be all. Well, guess what? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, his plan is to destroy this place and to end this place. So you can't speak against that, like we just read. Psalm 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. So it don't matter if you think this place is going to go on forever. Well, you're a fool, and you don't believe the scriptures, because according to the Holy Scriptures, this place is going to be burned by nuclear fire. And really, you can call it holy fire, all right? So that's what it is. Let me go back to 2 Ezra 9. Verse 19. For then every one obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed, and by a law which is unsearchable rid themselves. All right? So this has been an ongoing thing. You had since the ancient Babylonians, you had men who would speak up against this truth. And you're going to still have it up until this day, that people, even of our own people, who speak up against this truth. Verse 20, so I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And what's that next device we're waiting on? It's that RFID C-HIP. And that peril means danger. So if you take that C-HIP, that MOTB, then guess what? You're going to put yourself in a dangerous situation. Matter of fact, you make allegiance to the devil, and which is the wicked, which is the so-called white man manifested in the flesh. And when he gives you and presents you that device that he's going to put either in your forehead or in your right hand, and guess what? You're going to be in danger. Danger is going to be waiting for you. Verse 21, and I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people. All right? Talking about the elect. Out of the whole cluster, he's only got a grape. All right? If you have a whole cluster of grapes, you only got a grape. That's a metaphor for the elect, because the elect are going to be that one grape that he's kept. The cluster is going to be the majority of those people that die in the missiles during World War III by nuclear fire. Verse 22, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, meaning useless. The word vain means useless. The majority of these people are useless. So if you're presenting this truth, if you're teaching this truth, and they don't want to believe it, just let them move the fuck on. Or you need to move the fuck on, because they're useless. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai can't use them. All right? And let my grape be kept and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. All right? And that's because the elect is going to be perfect in this truth. All right? We understand the prophecies. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and close out right now, because this is a kind of a heat of the moment, on the spot lesson. And I think the point's been made. All right? You're going to have the cluster compared to that one grape, all right? The cluster represents the masses, the multitude. That one grape represents the elect body, all right? Starting out with the prophets who's going to be made perfect, all right? And that's who's going to have salvation according to the scriptures when these missiles and when Yahweh Bashem Yahshai visits the earth, all right? So I'm going to close out on that. Want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor, all the love unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruka Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam,